This video is about graphing inequalities on the coordinate plane where we need to solve for y first. So we're going to graph the following inequalities, making sure to solve for y and isolate it before we can graph. So in our first problem, we have 2y is greater than or equal to 5x minus 10. In order to get y by itself, since it's being multiplied, we're going to divide everything by 2 because division is the inverse of multiplication. And we get y is greater than or equal to 5 over 2x minus 5. So in this case, my slope is 5 over 2, which means I'm going to go up 5 and right 2. My y-intercept is negative 5. Also remember that I have a greater than or equal to sign. So because it's greater than or equal to, this is going to be a solid line. And because it's greater than, we are going to shade above our line. So I'm going to plot my b value at 0, negative 5. And I'm going to use my slope up 5 over 2, up 5 over 2. And then I'm going to connect it in a solid line. And then I'm going to shade above this line because it's a greater than or equal to problem. If I want to double check that my shading was done correctly, remember that I can always pick a point. So I'm going to test the point 0, 0. So I have 2 times 0 is greater than or equal to 5 times 0 minus 10. 2 times 0 is 0. Greater than or equal to 5 times 0 is 0, so negative 10. This is true. 0 is greater than or equal to negative 10, so I should be shading where that point lies. In the second problem, in order to get y by itself, this time I need to move x to the other side of the equation. So because it's a negative, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Y is less than, remember that 1 and 2x are not like terms, so we're going to write them separate. 2x plus 1. The number in front of x is 2, which means my slope is 2 over 1. I'm going to go up 2 and right 1. My b value is 0, 1. Then looking at my sign, it's a less than sign, which means that this should be a dashed line. And I should shade below. So I'm going to plot my point at 0, 1. And I'm going to use my slope up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. And I'm going to make a dashed line to connect this. Add arrows on both sides. Then remember, because it's a less than, we are shading below our line, which should include more of our negative y values. Again, I can test a point that's not on my line, so again I can use 0, 0, which is not on the line. So I have negative 2 times 0 plus 0 is less than 1. 0 is less than 1. Because that's true, it makes sense that that point is in the shaded region. In the next one, again, there's a number in front of the y. So in order to get the y by itself, I'm going to divide by negative 7. Now this is very important. Remember, when you divide by a negative number, you must flip your inequality sign. So it's now going to be y is less than or equal to. I flip the direction the inequality was facing, and the negative 3/7 x plus 8. So my slope here is negative 3 over 7, down 3, right 7. Remember to always keep your negative with the number that's in the numerator, which is the top of the fraction. My b value is 0, 8. And I have a less than or equal to sign, which means that I'm going to have a solid line, and I'm going to shade below. So I'm going to plot my point 0, 8. I'm going to go down 3, right 7. I only get one dot to fit on the line. That's okay. I'm just going to connect my line now. And then because it is a less than, I'm going to shade below my graph. Again, if I want to double check myself, I'll pick the point 0, 0. So -7 times 0 is greater than or equal to 3 times 0 minus 56. 0 is greater than or equal to 56. That's true. To -56, that's true. So it should be in my shaded region. Let's try one more challenge problem in order to get y by itself so we can graph. In this case, x is on the same side as the y, and there's a number with the y. So first, I need to get that x to the other side of the equation. So I'm going to add 10x to both sides. -5y is less than 10x minus 45. And then I'm going to divide by -5. Remember, I divided by a negative, so I must flip my inequality. So this is now y is greater than -2x plus 9. So my slope here is -2/1. So I would go down 2, right 1. My y-intercept is 0, 9. Because my inequality sign is a greater than, this should be a dashed line, and I should shade above. So I'm going to use my b value, 0, 9. I'm going to go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, and I can continue this with a dotted line. Then because it's a greater than, we are going to shade above our graph. Again, if I want to double check that I did my shading correct, I can test the point 0, 0. So I have -10 times 0 minus 5 times 0 is less than -45. 0 is less than -45. That's not true, which should make sense that that point then is not in the shaded region.